Good day, good love, and good light. Illuminators and way showers, thanks for being with us in this now moment, as that is what this message is all about. I'm Wendy. If you're new to the channel, this is my husband, Dave, and we share our highs, joys, and expressions in many ways. And one of them is impromptu oracle messages, light language activations. And so I was just, we were just basically sitting quietly for a few minutes. I kind of had this quick meditation, and all of a sudden I hear like this, I don't know, urgency, like there's only here and now. I was reading something about the splitting of the vibrational earths, and that's kind of what it was like. It spun something into me like, okay, the tracks are splitting, the earth, the vibrational earths of the versions of earth are splitting, meaning that the those who have the negative belief track and the idea of ascending to the idea of that, and that's where the message came in, was ascending to the idea that of the knowing that everything is here and now. Everything is here and now. It was like, it was just this urgent, like, reminding us all that peace, inner peace, understanding, the release of the past, the idea of the past does not exist. Everything is here and now. It was like, that was like, kept hearing over and over again, reminding me, inspiring me, the past is an illusion. The past you're creating right now, in the here and now. And if I felt like there was this, those who fear that idea is part of that fear-based vibrational earth. There's this fear of being here and now. And it was like this idea that ascension is like literally moving away, focusing away. And part of that had to do with the conversation Dave and I were just having about focus. And now I don't even remember specifically what we were talking about, but it was literally about focusing away from that which you do not prefer.
Well, we were talking about how when you're looking at things, that you're creating a reality based on the ideas that you're projecting. And so when you're looking at things that include the things that you don't prefer, even if it's because contrast is offering things you don't prefer, so you could choose the things you do prefer, the human tendency is to focus on the things that you don't like so much that becomes the predominant focus of energy that you're then creating. And yeah, it's great to say, I don't like, let's just use an example. I don't like pollution. Well, it's contrast that, for the most part, nobody likes pollution. But in order to not have pollution, you have to project the energy of being
clear sky, or clear water,
And the more you focus on the idea of pollution existing, the more pollution is going to exist. And actually, more accurately, you are always in the here and now, creating the here and now, and all possibilities exist and all realities exist. So what you're really doing is choosing to be in a reality where pollution is a thing. And the way that you move yourself to a collective reality where there is no more pollution, you have to no longer focus your idea on entertaining the idea of pollution. Which, it's not to say when you have opportunities come up to exhibit your new belief on not having pollution, that you shouldn't take action toward the no pollution. but you should do it in a way that is not including the idea of pollution. And
that is kind of a big subject to choose, though, for an example.
well, so there already exists a reality where pollution either never existed or has already been subsided, and all you're really doing is choosing to be in the vibration of a world and an experience where pollution is just not a thing. It's over with. Nobody's thinking about it. All the new actions people take are going to already automatically include the idea of not creating pollution. And that's just an example, but you apply that idea to all the things in your reality. And the more we expand our awareness, the more things we also see within ourselves that are non-preferred things. And the conversation really had to do with the idea of people wanting change, but wanting it to express it as a battle against the thing they want to change.
Yes, and that's
not how it works. That's not how you move individually or collectively your reality to one where that thing no longer exists.
We were talking about the vibration of the words that we choose and how we want, like Dave said too, you want to make a change in your world, but then you talk about, oh, my life is so boring, or I don't, I have very things that we say that we don't want in our world, we continue to perpetuate because we keep saying them about the things we don't like in our own life, whether it's globally or personally.
So it's funny because the way negative beliefs work is they're designed to support you. Any belief that you want to hold on to, the negative or positive, the belief is designed to support you in having the experience that you are saying and thinking you want to have. So if you're saying that you want to talk about pollution because you don't want it anymore, you're still including the idea of your exploration as having pollution. You can't be in a world that gets rid of pollution unless there's pollution. And negative beliefs are then going to support the idea that pollution exists so you could get rid of it. But getting rid of pollution is not the vibration of being in a world with no pollution. So it's a funny thing. And the tendency is to want to fight against the thing that you don't like. And number one, fighting is not a category of integral positive vibration. So whenever you want to change something, you're really changing yourself to be in the vibration of the thing you want to change to. And you completely put out of all of your thoughts the things that you do not prefer. That's just inviting more of the same. And that's, the belief systems work the same if they're preferred beliefs or non-preferred beliefs. It's nobody complains about the things that you prefer that happen with the beliefs that you do prefer. It's the things that you don't prefer that people take more notice of. And even the idea of you want to change the world and have a pollution-free world. See, even I'm still using the word pollution.
I'm like, stop! I know why I'm like, stop using that
I'm
word.
Using that on purpose to show that this is how we naturally
I don't even like
think.
the vibration of when he's even talking about it, because I want to say what I want, not what I don't want.
Exactly.
I don't even like to live in that vibration,
So thinking of things in an entirely new way.
Everything is here and now. I keep hearing everything is here and now. Focus on what you prefer in the here and now. It's like, it is, I can't stress enough the emphasis on this idea of, if we're living in the here and now, you are free from you literally become free from negative beliefs because you are in the frequency of that does not and cannot exist.
And you'll also notice that most of the negative beliefs that you have really revolve around either something that happened in the past or something you're afraid might happen in the future.
Or not happen.
And there is no past and there is no future. There is always only here and now. And if you focus your attention to the here and now and stay focused to the things that you prefer, then you will navigate your way through the different here and nows in the direction that you prefer.
And I'm even hearing now too, we cannot connect with these species of higher vibrational origins if we are focused anywhere in the past or the future. The only place that we can connect to, as you just said, the place of endless possibilities, the only place there that vibration exists is in the here and now. That is the power of that. And I'm thinking about you. I'm reminded of Bashar, very old. Maybe you guys who have been watching him for a long time. There was an event in which I was listening to where there was only the 4 laws of creation. And during the event, there was like a vote where you could vote the people in the group that were there at the event and all of us energetically. We got to vote, and I'm getting goosebumps remembering this from the past, but the idea was taking that everything is here and now, that sentence, and inserting it as the second law. And I know that that's only probably a part of my own past that I'm making up right now, but for some reason, it's that parallel reality that I'm tapping into, that memory is appropriate for me to tap into right now for this conversation in this here and now. And they literally inserted it as number 2, everything is here and now within the laws of creation. So you exist, everything is here and now. What you put out is what you get back. The one is the all are the one, and everything changes except the first 4 laws.
So it's interesting because as we are wanting to connect to more things, as you're going through your spiritual journey and finding out that angels and guides are available to us, extraterrestrials that are not only physical but non-physical consciousnesses and entities throughout the universe that we could connect to, and they're all there at our disposal to connect to. They don't exist in the past and they don't exist in the future. They only exist in the here and now. If you want to expand your connections with any of these things, you have to be in the here and now, because that's where they're at, because there is no future.
And that means the vibration of judgment, the vibration of self-doubt, the vibration of regret, the vibration of lack of trust in oneself, of unworthiness. All of those vibrations are either past or future related. If we are in the here and now, and you realize that this is something even I am still working through also as a human, is how am I creating that right now? But I'm creating we are creating a linear story. But again, I am also awakening to that idea that I am creating whatever I'm perceiving as the past right now, and how I respond to that information in the here and now, if we're looking at it linearly, will then create my future, if you want to look at it linearly. So my connecting even to that video, that event, is somehow beneficial for all of us in this now. And why is knowing that everything is here and now, it's not that that didn't already exist, but there was the idea that there needed to be, not needed, well, okay, I'm going to say need, because when we ask for what we need instead of we want. So one of the things that we needed to catapult us as the human collective was to literally insert that as one of the laws of creation, because it already is. It was to emphasize it to us as part of our growth. And I realized too that even as I'm having this conversation, and even as you're receiving this conversation, we're still going through billions and billions and billions of realities moment by moment. So even wrapping my mind around that is not always easy. But even me saying those words, me wrapping my mind around that is not easy, creates that reality for myself, just as Dave's just said, because the universe is going to support anything I want because it loves me unconditionally. I don't need to believe that that's difficult. And that is probably the message right now too, is the here and now is never difficult. The here and now is never difficult. It isn't the vibration of that. That's the funny thing about it, is anytime we're feeling difficulty, anguish of any kind, we are not in the vibration of the here and now. We just aren't. It doesn't, those things don't exist there.
So having a human experience, in a physical sense, there's a band of vibration that we exist in. And the idea of the splitting of the tracks is really simply that we are moving as we expand our consciousness and increase our frequency. Our band of operation is moving up, and those that are not, which is for whatever reason they are choosing not to, because we're creating all of it. So of course we're going to want to have a reality where, I mean, it's sort of a law of nature that all things exist. So the lower bands of frequency are always still going to exist, but as we move our experiential band of frequency higher and higher, we are just no longer going to be experiencing those lower frequencies. And we're doing that by choice, by being in a vibration of things that we prefer, and the things that we don't prefer are going to be in a far enough away band of frequency that they're not going to be part of our reality anymore. And those realities are always going to still exist, because everything is here and now, and all things exist in the here and now. It's just, what do we want to experience, or what perspective do we want to place our awareness to, and where do we want to pinpoint our experience of exploration. And I think we could all agree that all of us have had enough experience with the things that we don't prefer, and we're more than happy to only experience the things that we do prefer. And Wendy and I now are again offering you a viewpoint, but this is not new teaching.
No, of course not. Just reminding us all.
And all of you know this.
Know it. Yep.
And the thing that really we'd like to remind all of you is, you do have the choice. You always have the choice, especially in the here and now. In every moment, you have a choice. What do you want to focus your attention on? And you'll find when you're just focusing your attention on the things that you prefer, the things that you don't prefer are going to make themselves evident, because the idea is you're always given that choice. You just have to choose the one that you prefer and say no thank you to the ones that you don't. And pretty soon the things that you don't prefer are going to get tired of hanging around your area of vibration and stop showing up. They'll find a reality where they like to play.
And Dave and I are we're playing the idea in the here and the now of, we're creating this idea of disclosure, of extraterrestrials, of the interstellar alliance, of hybrid children, of the story of Earth. What is the true story of Earth? What can we learn from our extraterrestrial friends, families? And that just happens to be our focus. And in the ethers of all of that, even though Dave and I don't watch really any kind of conspiracy theories or anything like that, we don't even really watch, ironically, we don't really pay a lot of attention to a lot of these stories about UFOs and UFOs in the sky, only because we don't need convincing. We already know they're here, they've been here. We understand, I think, the human story. I think many of us do, that have listened to Bashar and Elon and many, many other channelers. I could list them all, actually, because I've probably listened to most of them. And so none of that is new for us, yet we're also experiencing in the ethers this idea of these things are going on, and then the things of the everything that's happening with everything, and globally, and the government and our government here in the United States. Dave and I happen to be here in the U.S., and so I also understand that the perspectives in other countries are going to be completely different than ours. Completely. Your experiences, even with these ideas and first contact and open contact and disclosure, all of those experiences going to be perceived and received, and for each and every one of us in our own way, because we're still creating the versions of all of this stuff too, which is even more mind-blowing. But so yeah, it was like I literally just like sprung off the couch, and it was like, okay, everything is here and now. I have to remind myself and everybody that the here and the now is where it's at.
So how do you want to apply your moment by moment right now?
And how do you want to talk?
To include that idea. And
a lot of this was inspired by just reading and reading people's messages here and there, and like it's really become that polarity for me, identifying where I'm literally seeing the negative belief systems wrapped around what people are saying, what we're all saying, and realizing that what is it that you want in the here and now? If it's the thing that you don't want, and you keep repeating the thing that you don't want, but what do you want it to look like? If it was the way, when I say it, your world, if it was the way you wanted it, what would it be? What would you be doing differently? And how would you be doing it differently? And who would you be doing it with? And in what way? And would you be where you are? The here and the now is where you find you, and you find all of those answers. And sometimes it's not what we think. But because of our belief systems about past and future, we don't live in the here and now. We don't act from the here and now. We don't act from our heart, because right away, where are you? You're thinking about something in the past. You're thinking about what might happen in the future if I walk the path of my here and the now. What will happen? As soon as you take away the past and the future from the here and now, what do you really want? What does it look like? That's the vibration, and that's the only place you're going to find that vibration. Yes, I do sound very Sasani, and I recognize that.
So the reflections we also see ourselves is identifying also our own beliefs and ideas, that there are others that are not operating in the here and now. Otherwise, we wouldn't be sharing this message. And that's a lesson also for us to be from operating in the here and now to also be collectively creating everyone else also operating from the here and now. And by changing that idea within us, we will see the reflections of others and others that are operating in the here and now will be more apparent to us.
Yes.
So, and we all exist in all the here and nows. So the version of you who might not be in the here and now, we're coming to find you in the here and now.
So we're all in this together. And I laughed because when you said reflections, because we were also discussing, Dave and I were talking about how we wanted to talk about the book, Reflections of My Homeworld, from Elon channeling, as channeled through Andrew. And we finished the book and we're really excited to share with you our insights on that. So I had to laugh about that as well. So that's something that's coming up too. And we're going to start reading also Darryl Anka's book, the Formula. So Dave and I had a long conversation this morning too about that idea, about the formula, following the formula, and where is it that humans actually still get caught up, like, I want to use the words I want to use. Let me walk my talk here. To offer ourselves opportunities to live the formula more fully, moment by moment. That's really how I prefer to say it. And how we can do that and still navigating through physical reality and applying that formula. And how can we do that better in our lives as we move toward this, fourth density ascension process with Earth. And so we're very excited to share these things. And of course, if you're here, you're part of this whole story. You've created this story for you, and of course you're creating your version of us, which is also quite intriguing, we find. So Eliasa junukutia para sumuro koshini intiro kosomalia sono te besopokoto kotoya namiyitoro vasana. It's just a little message from our galactic friends and family that they're always in our here and now and always accessible to each and every one of us, only in the here and now. Bye, everybody. Till next time, Shivai and Aveo. Yalake.